on the screen, my favorite man. Crafty's on the TV, chipping that stone with obsidian and flint. He's in the zone. He's shaping the future with a hit and a crack, building the ledge, ain't no turning back. With every top edge, he's teaching the way of the ancients right back in the day. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. Underneath those layers of dust and grit, finds the magic every little bit. A sculptor of stories, buried in the ground. Each piece he uncovers wisdom abound. With every collision, the sparks start to fly. As the old world awakens, we question why. He's digging deeper where the shadows play, reviving old crafts that could fade away. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. And in this life, we're all just searching for our place in the world, a way to keep working. With the flick of his wrist, he brings forth the light. In every gray morning, he makes it feel right. So gather around, let the stories unfold. Crafty's our guide through the young and the old. With the sun rising high and the day moving on, Crafty carves dreams till the light is all gone. He's shaping the future one chip at a time. With every creation, he's keeping the rhyme. From the heartland of Texas to the mountains of green, the legacy lives on through the stonework unseen. With every perspective, he's showing the way. Crafty keeps going, come whatever may. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. So here's to the mornings with coffee in hand and Crafty on the screen, the true heart of the land. With a hit and a crack, he's paving the way through stone and through story. He inspires the day.
Hello, hello. It is now Thursday night, right? Thursday nights are challenge nights. So I'm going to pick some challenge stuff. This is challenge stuff. And I'm just going to break that bottle and save the bottle bottom. And get rid of the rest of the bottle. Yeah, it's an old ginger ale bottle. I forget who sent it to me. Yep. Somebody sent it to me. It's a nice flat bottom. Looks pretty good. Alright, let's see. Oops. I'm going to put that glove back on when I break that bottle, but I forgot I need to check the chat. Chris Cox is the first one tonight. Hey, hey. I think that's the first time you've been the first one. I don't know. Your laughter is here. Aaron Estes, what's up? Scott Goldsberry is here. Stoneface. Are we going to Step Fracture City today? I have my ticket ready. If you want. Yeah, I can do a lot of step fracture technology on purpose. Oh, yes. Chris Lithic is here. Raylan Landry is here. Aaron Wilson. Howdy, howdy. Jeremy says hello. Chris Lithic, hey, Lef, weird. I'm just waking up. an alarm went off or something. Yeah. Chris Cox is here. Alan Cole is here. Lance McElwain, what's up? Let's see. Time to go to work then, says your laughter. Talking about someone else, I guess. All right. Chris Lithic. Aaron Wilson. I've already seen you guys. Who else? Who else? Any questions? Lance says, I think I'm going to carve some knife handles tonight. Got me a new set of wood carving knives. Sweet. Mr. Jim is here. Hello. Sam Drake says hi. Are we starting early tonight, Mike Mason? Yeah, don't get me mixed up. We're not starting early. This is a regular time. Stoneface says, oh, okay, hello. AM Outdoors is here. What's up? Wolfie93 Gaming sent a gold coin. Awesome. John S8N4D, wiggle your phone a little bit like that. I don't know. Mac Bales, hello, hello. Is that Keokuk in the basket there? No, there's no Keokuk at all in the basket. That's Nethers. It looks like a heat treat Nethers, if that's what you're looking at. 550 degrees. This is a challenge rock. I forget who sent it to me. Dawkinstein, hey. John S. Yep, perfect. Bill says, what we napping tonight? We're going to try various things. Yeah, and we're going to settle on one, but I'm going to show various things because there's a lot of stuff in my challenge. My challenge bin, I had like 3 of these baskets and getting ready for challenges, so I'm just going to sample a bunch of stuff tonight. And we'll settle on one eventually. I'm going to break that bottle. Yeah, there's no high-tech stuff that I use for breaking bottles. I just hit it with a hammer. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do first, and then trim the bottle bottom and throw the rest away, unless the sides are thick. If the sides are thick, I may keep the sides too. The neck is usually the thickest part, but it's hard to get a nice arrowhead out of it because it's curved in many different directions. Anyways, this is an old bottle. Yeah. Now, some people save these for vases or tall glasses. They cut them. They don't make arrowheads out of this stuff. But it was sent to me to make an arrowhead out of it, so that's what I'm going to try to do. Well, I'm going to get the bottle bottom off of it anyway. Maybe I'll make the arrowhead later. I'm just going to smash it with a hammer. Yeah. That's the easiest. Killer Cork is here. What's up? Aaron Wilson, don't feel bad. Let's see. Chris Cox. Who else? Bill asks, is galvanized steel no good for indirect percussion and flaking? Yeah, it's usually not that great because it's got that coating on it, but you can file the coating off, right? So it doesn't matter. It's still mild steel, you know. As long as it's galvanized mild steel, it's okay. Yeah. No worries. Just file it off, you know, at the point that makes contact with the stone. File off the galvanization. Let me see, what else? Dawkinstein, we got whacked. No power. Flint Ridge. No, it's not Flint Ridge. Well, yeah, I guess it's the other name for it is Flint Ridge, but it says Nethers. So it might be just chert that's found near the Flint Ridge formation. It might not all be the same kind of stuff. It might not all be nice and pretty. So I don't know. I'm not an expert at Nethers stuff. Steven Faringa, hello everybody, here from smoky northern Michigan. Yeah, we had smoke too for the past 3 days. What is up with that? Shake a nail around inside, it can knock the bottom out, says T-Bird. Yeah, I know. I just don't do it that way no more. You know what happens when I shake a nail around inside? It pops out. It pops through sometimes. It doesn't pop the bottom out. The nail just pops a hole in the bottom in one of these edges, and I had to keep shaking it, and it pops out weird holes. So I just break them. Not that it doesn't work sometimes, but with my luck, that nail just ends up popping a hole in the bottom of, around the edge here somewhere. Like it shows the Hertzian cone for once. Right? It just pops it out and didn't pop out the bottom. I've had too many failures with the nail shaking to know that it's not worth it. Yeah, somebody had a whiskey bottle, wouldn't see. That's what I'm saying. If you have trouble breaking the bottle, it's not good to nap. That's one way to tell. I mean, it will nap, but it's not good. You know what I'm saying? People say, "I want something good." Better tell me what's good, because I don't want something that's not good. Okay, if it doesn't break right away, or if it's hard to break, it means it's tempered glass that's tempered too strongly to nap well. It'll nap, but you're going to have some difficulty. And that happens a lot with the clear bottles for some reason. All right, so what am I going to do? I don't know. We're just going to tap on it. Yeah, it's really hard to do that. To tap on it and break the bottle with a ball peen. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can handle it. So this side, the sides are nice and thick, so I might be able to get some side pieces that are pretty good. No? Where are the side pieces that might be pretty good? That's too curved. This actually feels like a delicate bottle. Okay, this might not be bad. There's a crack in this one. Let me see. Let's finish out that crack. Yeah, like that. So this one's not as curved. This one's too curved. So we can save some of this. Where's the other one? Yeah, that's too curved. Is there another piece? Yeah, it's got some crack. It's got some cracks in it. I can nap some of that one. Yeah, I can nap that one perhaps into a little bitty arrowhead. Yeah. Where is it? Which part of bottles are good for napping? When it's curved in the opposite of the long way. If it's curved across that way, it's not too bad. But that one's too curved in both directions. So there's not much. We got a couple of pieces in there. No, this one's got cracks in it. This might work. No, it's got cracks in it. Too small. Too thin. Yeah. I'm not worried about getting a lot of material from this. I'm just worried about the bottle bottom. Come on. Yeah, like that. This one is tempered also. You can tell if it breaks into blocky chunks like that, it's also tempered glass. Yeah. How about this one? This one's okay for a little arrowhead. Yeah. But I'm not going to recycle this because the guy gave me a hard time last time. That's what he gets. Let's see. What do we got in the chat here? Where's the bottom? Yeah. So we're just going to trim the bottom. It's nice and thick and flat. Yeah, it's nice. We napped some last night. If you remember, if you were here. Most of you guys probably half asleep. Has anyone asked the question yet? No one's asked the question. What is the question? Never mind, never mind. I'm not telling you until someone asks it. Yeah. Can you see what I'm doing? So now I'm going to cut it. Yeah, we'll cut it in half so we can get two nice pieces. Instead of only one piece, we get two nice arrowhead pieces. Right? Right. Two nice arrowhead pieces. It's good for you measly misses. You see, this is the center. Oops. I started it off wrong. Take my glasses off for this. Yeah, my ruler in my brain doesn't work that well with my glasses on. Well. Okay, so we'll be able to break it along now. Yes, yes. Perfect. So, see, we got two arrowhead slabs. Okay, so that's how we do the bottles. So I got two good size and then three little bitty ones. But you know, you can make little arrowheads out of these for practice, and then you can tackle the good stuff. Right? You get it? You didn't get it? Let's see. Where's my pointer? We probably don't understand unless I got my pointer. Where is my pointer? I can't live without this now. So yes. Practice. Practice, practice on this. And then you nap this. And then after you nap this, then you get your final nice, beautiful point from this. Okay? Nap all these first. And then that. And then that. Got it? Good. That's how we do it. That's how you're supposed to do it. Now, if you do it that way, good. If you don't do it that way, I don't care. Yeah. I don't lose sleep over that. I'm just recommending things. Yeah. That's all I do is I recommend. So let's see. Let me dump some of this out. I probably will recycle this. Yeah, so it doesn't all go to waste. I will recycle this. I think I have another bottle I need to break up. Yeah. I think someone sent me a different bottle. Alright, so that will get recycled. Don't worry. Oh, let's see. Let's see. what are we going to do next? We're going to test the nethers and see what this is. This is supposedly a heat treat, but I don't know if 550 is enough heat for this stuff, because it doesn't sound familiar. I thought this stuff needs a lot more heat than that. It's all crackiola pudding. Maybe the heat, maybe he wrote 550 on there as a suggestion, because I cannot heat at 550. You should know that. I just got a simple little turkey roaster. I can't heat the 550, so this is probably not heated. It does not feel heated. It feels nasty and raw. Yeah. But who knows? Maybe this was what it looks like at 550 and not, you know, not quite hard enough. Dang. I don't know, I might be able to nap it into something. I've napped worse than this into something. As long as it doesn't have cracks. Let's see. You can make a pinky ring from the mouth of the bottle. I guess so. I'm not into sculpting glass. I'll nap it, but I'm not going to sculpt it or grind it or cut it. Unless I'm cutting the bottle bottoms in half. That's the only time I cut the glass these days, or if I'm making something out of window pane glass or something. Well, we might be able to nap this. Even if it's in a raw state or only partially heat treated. I don't know. That'd be an interesting challenge. I'm going to sample a bunch of stuff, so don't be thinking I'm going to stick with this only. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can actually nap this. If there's not a bunch of cracks in it. It looks like we're in home free. Almost. Almost home free. I don't see major issues. We'll see. You know, it might be heat treated because it actually is cooperating, but I don't know. I still got to skin off this stuff here. Has anyone asked the question yet? Let's see. Who else is here? I don't know. I don't see anybody new in the chat. We got 85 people watching though. Curiosity seekers. Let's see. Let's try to get rid of this nasty stuff. Yeah, getting there. It might actually have a bit of heat treatment to it. Yeah. At first it seemed pretty bad, but now it's better. It actually improved on the interior. Yeah. I think I might be able to nap this. So we'll set this aside. It looks okay. I think I skinned off everything that was nasty. So we set this aside. Right. We'll take one of these just so we can show people what we've got accomplished so far. Got a little bottle, half a bottle bottom. We got the nethers. Oh, this is some of that Diablo dacite from northern New Mexico. I think that's what this is. It looks like basalt, but I think this is the Diablo dacite. that I'm calling it Diablo Dacite because it will flake, but your heart, it will break. Yeah. I think that's what this is. It looks like a fine-grained basalt, but it's not. The reason why I think this is the dacite is because it's with the chalcedony that is also found not too far from the locations where you find the Diablo dacite. Yeah, that's got to be heat treated though. It'll be nice though. It's a chalcedony. I can make some good arrowheads out of this, but it needs heat. Why not knap it raw? Because when you get down to the nitty-gritty, it'll break on you or it'll step fracture and you wasted your time. You got to make sure that it's going to be good during the final stages or you're wasting your time. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Okay? Don't get all bent out of shape. I'm trying to prevent you from getting all bent out of shape at the rock. Yeah. See, just because it naps good in the beginning or naps fairly well doesn't mean it's going to nap well at the ending stages or during the notching especially. Heating is very useful, heat treating, for when you need to be notching it. If you don't need to notch the thing that you're planning on making, then, you know, heat treating is pretty much optional. But if you want to notch it, you better heat treat that sucker if it's not napping well. If it responds to heat. If it doesn't respond to heat, then you're out of luck. Yeah, you're going to have some misery. This is just Georgia jasper. Heat treated Georgia jasper. It's nice. Look at that. It's nice. So we might be able to nap this, or we might start napping that. This one, see, this Diablo dacite, watch. It's so delicate that you can just snap it like that. Now, not all of this stuff snaps like that. Like this nethers, let's see. That one was harder to snap. So, you know, you want something that's not going to snap. This snaps easy, so you got to make them thick. I don't know where they got this obsidian, but it has bubbles in it. I think this is also very similar to the stuff they find in New Mexico, northern New Mexico, or northwestern New Mexico. Let me see. Where is the smaller bubble? There it is. I'll show you what it looks like. See that? See that? It's got bubbles in it. But that's what you find in northern New Mexico. Little pieces of this stuff. You can make arrowheads out of it. Yeah. So we can try that later. We got 2 hours. What is this? Oh, the same bubbly stuff? No, this is just regular. It's regular nasty obsidian. Right? It's banded. Banded nasty. I don't know who started napping on it. Well, it's actually midnight lace. It's black and clear. I think they call that midnight lace. It might not be nasty. It might be okay. It just looks like it might be nasty. What is nasty? It's a Flintknapping term for stuff that doesn't nap well in the final stages. It might nap okay right now, but you never know until you get to the final stages. And yeah, there are multiple stages at the ending. There's the final thinning. There's the final sharpening. There's the final notching. There's at least 3 stages at the ending. Thinning, sharpening, and notching. Something that does not cooperate during those 3 stages, it's got to be all 3. If it doesn't cooperate with those, it's nasty. I don't care. You can ridicule me all you want. If it doesn't meet the requirements of those final stages, it's nasty. Okay? The initial stage doesn't count. The bifacing stage doesn't count. That's the easy part of knapping. That's not real knapping. Got it? Okay. So, I don't know. It looks actually pretty good. We might try some of the Diablo Dazzle. What else we got? Oh, yes. We can't leave out stuff that Rockin' Pop's Adventures sent me. Or gave to me last time I went to go visit. What is this? Oh, dang. I knew he'd send me something really challenging. What is it? I don't know. It looks like some kind of landscape gravel that's been heat treated. Yeah, it's some kind of gravel. Arkansas gravel. But some of it looks okay. But some of it looks like, you know, like you're eating pancakes. Yeah, it looks like a cooked pancake. And not in a good way. This down here looks like it can be napped a little bit. But no, I'm not going to nap this. Crazy. Look at that. Final stages, remember, it's got to notch well, sharpen well, and thin down well. That doesn't look like it. No. So, nasty. What else? We got some of this. I think this is, what's it called? Big Fork. Yeah, Big Fork makes little knives. It says Big Fork, but actually you just make little knives or little blades. Yeah, you can make little blades out of Big Fork. That's what that is. I've tried this. It's very similar to Onondaga or something like that. There's other shirts that look like this. This is from Arkansas. You think you have it bad where you are in North Carolina? Just try napping this stuff. Yeah, some of the rhyolite in North Carolina is better than this. Yeah. And don't take it the wrong way, Stacy. I'm just telling you like it is. Some of those North Carolina guys have it easy compared to this stuff. Yeah. But they're always going, there's nothing up here. There's nothing, you know. Dang it. All we got is quartz and rhyolite and all kinds of weird junk. Yeah, you think you got weird junk. Look at that. You can find little pieces in here that are nappable. Yeah. And some guys might say, well, you're just knocking off all the good parts. Of course you're not going to get nothing. There's no good parts on this particular piece. I've seen pieces with good parts on it. Yes. And believe me, I'm not going to try to knock off all the good parts. I want to keep the good stuff. Yeah. I got practice in trying to keep the good stuff. But you can tell when it's not good. If you can find a clear spot on this, then yeah, you can make something. This might actually clear up. Yeah. Just got to trim off all the nasties. But again, it's got to be good at the final stages, not just this stage. This is the easy part. See, I'll show you the problems. Interior crack. Nasty. Right there. This weird cortex conglomeration stuff. And this, what is it? If I don't know what it is, it's nasty. Okay? Look at that. Look at that. I don't know what to do with that. See, look at this. Where it goes, nobody knows. Where does that go? Where does this go? Where? Does it go this way? Does it go down in that way? Does it stop right there? Does it meet up with its buddy going across this way because the X marks the spot? X marks the spot. Right there. It's not good. Yeah. Explore Florida's here. Let's see. Prairie Ghost Ken is here. Stony Baloney. Yes. Jay says, happens if you hit your finger. What happens if you hit your finger with the rock? You smash with the rock? I don't understand. You guys need to sober up before you come on the stream. Yeah. Before you start commenting on the stream, you need to sober up a little bit so I can understand what you're posting. Come on. I actually might be able to make something out of this piece. Okay, so we'll save it. Is it able to be saved? This is not a bad piece, and I don't think this is the same clear fork or big fork. I don't think this is big fork. I think this is something else. Yeah, so we'll save this. What else is in here from Stacy? We got this, the pancake chert. Pancake batter chert. Yeah, that's what that is. See, that one had a little defect right there, so I got, you know, I cracked it right there because it's going to crack there no matter what. Anyway, let's see. That might be nappable. Yeah, that might be nappable. It might be a napple apple. Let's see. It might be. Let's see. Put that there. Is that it? I don't know. Maybe. Well, that's big enough to experiment with. Some of these pieces I know are not going to be good. That might be good enough to experiment with. I think I was already experimenting with this one. Yeah, or somebody was. That might be usable. Can you see what I'm sorting out? That might be usable. These other ones, I don't think so. No. Okay, so these are okay. What else? Come on. There it goes. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Let me see. And Stacy, I hope you don't mind me throwing the rocks around. This one looks like Flint Ridge. And that one's too good for us. I already know that's going to be good. Right? It's not a challenge. This is challenge night. This is not easy peasy night. Yeah, this is already heat treated Flint Ridge. Of good quality. Yeah, we gotta nap this on easy peasy night. See, Fridays I do bifacing. And I like to biface the easy peasy stuff. So I'll probably save that for Friday. Okay. Alright. Let's see, what is this one? Norman Skill from Bushy. Is Bushy in the house? We don't know yet. I mean, I don't know. I have not been checking the chat. So Norman Skill. I got to make sure I don't forget. Yeah, that can be Knap, but it's got some nasty stuff in it. Crackiola pudding. It goes deep. That crackiola pudding goes deep. That's a good serving of pudding right there. What is it? It's got streaks. Challenge rock. Yeah, we can try this piece. Yeah, all right, we'll set that in that stack. Some of this is probably too nasty for us. Esopus, or esopus. That's what this is. Okay. Esopus. All right. Looks like fork pain, yeah, but this is. I think this is esopus. If Bush is in the house, he can clarify, but I think all this is esopus or esopus. I don't know. This comes from New York. And yeah, we got stuff around here that we can nap. It's within 6 hours from or I would say within 4 hours from where I live, I can get this. 3 hours if I'm lucky. I think that's what this is. Esopus. This is a note that I can't read. Bill. It just says Bill. I don't know which Bill sent this to me. Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna toss it out so I don't get confused. I think this was part of what Bill sent me here. But the rest of this looks like, oh, this is Onondaga. Oh, shucks. So much for esopus. Okay, so I think the esopus is more clear looking. So this is esopus, right? This Onondaga. This one. The darker stuff is esopus, but this one has got lighter streaks, so it's Onondaga. I like the esopus better than Onondaga. Yeah, so I'm going to call these three pieces esopus and Onondaga. You can find this in New York. This is from New York too, but Western New York or Northwestern. Yeah, but not at Niagara Falls. Whoever asked me that question at Niagara Falls. I don't think you can find this at Niagara Falls. I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, so this is Onondaga. Okay, all right, so this stuff we can keep. Let's not get this mixed up. Let's not ruin our pen. Norman skill from Bushy. This we can keep. We can keep this banded obsidian. We'll just try that. And we got plenty of this stuff. Yeah. I got so much of this stuff, it's not even funny. Yeah. You can't have it unless I sell it in a box. I might just start collecting a bunch of this and put it in a box in the auction. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to throw all this into the to be sorted later bucket. I have a bucket that I'm going to be sorting later. So this all goes into the bucket that's later to be sorted. Yeah, I know. Not proper English. So this is our challenging stuff for tonight. Okay, I'll be trying to biface this down a little bit. Let me get rid of this stuff. This will be dumped in the to be sorted later bucket. Oh wait. Norman skill, the Onondaga, and the esopus also goes in here. Okay, so that's the full basket. All right. We're not gonna. Did I leave a piece of this? What's not labeled? All right, what did I not label? Let's label what's not labeled. There's another one in here, right? Or no? Uh-huh. Okay, so this is Arkansas Big Fork shirt. I think that's the only one that I don't know what it is. Yeah. This is $5.50. Leathers. Because a lot of this stuff will become foggy tomorrow if I don't label it tonight. Okay. Yeah, I won't remember tomorrow some of this stuff. What was that again? I gotta watch the whole video to see what it is. I wish I had that kind of time. Of course, I need to watch the first 46 minutes. Yeah, but that's still 46 minutes I'll never get back. Hold on a second, right? I know you can hold on for a second. Ooh. Okay, here we go. We're still on the air. So yeah, we're going to start our regularly scheduled programming. Okay? Take this off. I don't need it. We're going to try sampling a lot of this stuff from the basket. I think we'll have time to sample most of it and try to make some bifaces and maybe even make a point out of one of them. What do we got in the chat? Dang. Yeah, challenge day. Tommy Taylor's here. Let's see. Has Pat made a point yet? No. If I was working by myself, it's been 45 minutes, I would already have a point knocked out. Yes. Let me see. Feathered Frontiersman says, hey, hi, how's it going? What else? Who else? It's all petrified wood or just different kinds? These are all different kinds of things. None of it's petrified wood. None of it. Explorer says, I'm set for tomorrow. Took all day to get ready, hoping to do something worth watching on video tomorrow. Alrighty. How does petrified wood nap up? Yeah. Petrified wood is a mixed bag. So I can't tell you how it's going to work until I finally get it, until I get a piece and nap it down to the final stages. Most of it, 90% of petrified wood is terrible. 10% is nappable to where it'll meet the final 3 requirements. Thin's good, sharpens good, and notches good. Right? If it meets the final 3. 10% of petrified wood meets the 3. Notch, thin, sharp. If it meets the final 3, it's got to notch good, it's got to thin good, it's got to sharpen up good. If it doesn't meet those 3, if anyone is missing, it's nasty. Nasty. 10% of petrified wood is not nasty. And guess what? Half of that is heat treat. At least. Now, you can turn some really bad petrified wood into nice stuff to knap with heat treat, but it varies. There's no formula, there's no recipe. And remember the old saying, we got to put the sign up. You can't judge a rock by its cover. And I should put a little caveat in there. Or name. Title. Do you judge a book by its cover, name, or title? Do you? No. Same for rocks. Okay? So again, class, repeat after me. You can't judge a rock by its cover or name or title. So if I tell you about petrified wood, I am not judging it. I'm just letting you know what my experiences are. Okay? Let's see. Aaron says, I'm 5 minutes from a petrified forest. The good is far outweighed by the bad, but some of the good is exceptional. Well, you're lucky then. Very lucky. Let's see, Mike says, if the title starts with the Book of Swords, it might be treated outright. Maybe. Bill says, you call me a rock racist? I don't know. Are you judging petrified wood? If you are, then you're on borderline. Yeah. You're in danger of crossing over that line. Let's see. Freaking pointer, man. Who else is going to ask me a question like that? Ask, let's see. Who was living there? Ask Aaron Wilson to send you some of his excellent grade A petrified forest petrified wood. Yeah. Aaron, are you selling that stuff? If you're not selling that stuff, I don't believe that's good stuff. Yeah. I think you just think it's good stuff. Because if it was good stuff, you'd be selling it and paying your truck off with that money. Yeah. What's the matter? Why hasn't your truck been paid off? All right. Aaron, let's see, it's $1.99 super chat. Let's see, is there a comment attached? Nope, just cool, man, with a fist bump. Thank you, thank you. Aaron says, I'll set up there soon. I'll send you some, Patrick. It's a long hike. Yeah, but you know, you can hike a long ways to make sure you pay off that truck. Yeah, that's what I would do. Let's see here. What else? Is that it? Okay. So what are we going to do? I'm going to try this first. We'll start with the easy peasies. This is obsidian. Yeah. You start with the easy peasies. That way you don't wear yourself out. All right. So here we go. What is it? I don't know. You're lucky because it is obsidian this time. Is that obsidian? Yes, you're lucky. It is obsidian this time. Yep, got lucky. But I got my list ready in case someone asks the questions. There's always the same questions every time. So I got my list ready. I'm going to make sure I don't lose that list. The list of answers. So we have discovered that it's snap and halfish, right? So I can make a little arrowhead out of that piece. Very snap and halfish. Could I have been more gentle? Yes, but you know what? Remember the 3 things? It's got a notch well, thin well, and sharpen well. See the thin right there? If this snaps in half this easily, at this stage, it's not going to thin well. So it's nasty. But we're going to try it anyway. Okay? All right. We're gonna knock it down into a reasonable shape. Anyways, even though it probably will not thin easily, or it'll snap again sometime during the thinning stage. And how do you know how thin to get it? You have to consult your collection of foreshafts and see if it'll fit in notches. Yeah, so you get a sample of foreshafts, and if it won't fit in the notches after thinning it down and enough, it's not good. If it breaks every time you try to get it to fit in one of these notches, it's not good. It's nasty. Does that answer the question? I hope it does. Don't worry, I'll repeat it like 70 more times. 10 times more than necessary for the average person. The average person needs something repeated 7 times before they remember it, if they're not really paying attention. Which live streams are mainly for entertainment, so it's not like you guys are taking notes or anything. If you are, then you're my friend. Automatically, yeah. But you don't have to take notes. Don't worry about it. So this is very snap and halfish, but I think we can thin it down a little bit. And then see if it meets one of those notch requirements. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. We got plenty of time. Let's see here. Aaron says it's been used by the local tribes for thousands of years. Yeah, I've seen stuff that's been used by local tribes for thousands of years that you would not want your worst enemy to nap. Yeah. Just because it was used by people for thousands of years, it doesn't necessarily mean that's good for napping. I mean, it can be. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying it's not good for napping. It's just some people are going to take that and go, hey, all the artifacts that I've seen, I mean, I haven't started napping yet, but all the artifacts I've seen are made from the garden rocks I got in my garden. So it must be good. It must be good material. No. Well, some guy said that his petrified forest was good because they were using it for thousands of years. So there you go. Yes, but that might be because they'd have not much choice. I'm not saying that's what it is, but you never know. That might be the reason why they used it. Other than it might have pretty colors. Sometimes people will nap something just because it has pretty colors. It doesn't really nap that well. But since it's pretty, they'll use it. Yeah, there you go. Trade some stuff. For Aaron's petrified wood. Let the tradings begin. People can post what they make on their channels. Yeah. I got a feeling that sometimes people are not listening to what I'm saying. They're just hanging out. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. I'm just making an observation. I'm reading the chat, and sometimes I think the guys are just hanging out, which is fine. No worries. Man, it's slippery rock. It feels like napping hard candy. This kind of stuff. Yeah. There's different obsidians that feel like you're knapping hard candy. They don't all look like this. Some of them look a little different, but a lot of this gray stuff, it does knap like hard candy, which is not easy. Let's see. Aaron says if it's not homogeneous, it's useless. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Once you start knapping it, you can kind of figure things out. But you don't judge it by its cover or name or title. Well, yeah, that works. This is not too bad. Yeah, see, but the terminations are all kind of crunchy. See that? I don't know if I can duplicate it for you. See how the terminations have a lot of dust at the end? That usually indicates that it'll do that when it's thinning down, and it will tend to step fracture during the thinning stages. This is just barely beginning the thinning stage. So the terminations, they need to be feathery and not crumbly to be nice. All right? To meet one of the requirements for thinning. Okay? If it's all crumbly and stuff, at the end of the process during the thinning, it's gonna cause problems. So yeah, look at the ending. It's not too bad. This stuff is not too bad actually. So we'll see. I'm pushing the flakes really hard, so that may be why it was crushing earlier. You know, I'm following through like I want really long flakes. I'm risking the overshots, yeah. So maybe that's why it was crushing at the end of the flakes. That almost overshot. Or what did it do? It did overshoot a little bit. But it's barely noticeable, which is lucky. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But you can see, right? Can you see how it overshot? You got to be watching for these things sometimes. When you try to make a decision on whether or not to take the flake. Okay, here it is. See? I took this flake right here and it hit a ridge and it continued down here like a little arroyo and then the overshot. Okay, now let's say you want to take this flake and you look to see, are there any ridges that it could go down and overshoot? No, so this flake is pretty safe. Let's look for another flake that might not be safe. Like if I took one, let's say one big one right across the whole thing right here. If it ends up terminating at any one of these ridges, like that one ridge or this ridge or that ridge, it could run off and overshoot. Maybe not this one down here, but these two. If I took a big flake across here and it made it this far, it might kick past the termination down one of these ridges and overshoot. Just one more thing for you to worry about. Okay? All right. If you want to get that particular, some guys want all the information possible. So, there you go. Give me all the information possibly could ever think of. See, that one was lucky because that terminated well, right? But it could have kicked past the termination and run down that ridge. It could have run down this ridge and taken out a big bite. But it behaved itself. See that? It stopped right there. But it could have continued. But it didn't. So it's good. It's nice. It's a nice flake. It's nice. You gotta treat it really nice and gently. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so what else? This is preformed. Well, no, we got something weird right there. No, I almost forgot. Yeah, that's not supposed to be there, so let's get that out of there. That'll mess up our day if it goes deep. Okay. It was not a deep defect. Okay, so there you go. That's the preform for that. So we already know that's going to be snapping half-ish. I might not work on that. Another easy peasy. I want to save this for later. You know what? I'm going to save this because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some Pueblo arrowheads out of this stuff. So I got to be careful to take off some arrowhead spalls. I'm thinking, can I be careful enough right now? I might be able to be careful enough to take some spalls off of this for some Pueblo Indian arrowheads. Let's try that. I will try it on video. Okay, so some of the Pueblo Indian arrowheads are made of this kind of stuff, so I want some nice little arrowhead spalls for my reproductions. Yeah, like that. See, I can make a nice little arrowhead out of that. Okay, so I need a separate basket. Where are the baskets? The ones that are not full. Or did I use them all up? Okay. There we go. I can use that one. That one, nope. Alright, let's see. What else can we use from this? I gotta focus on this, so I might zone out. Yeah, I can use that. Possibly. Oh, it's got a defect. I don't know. We'll save it anyways. Yeah. These are too small. Let's try to get a big one. No, you don't go in there. I'm gonna try to get a reasonable sized flake off of this. Yes, that'll work for one of those Pueblo arrowheads because they're tiny. The Pueblo arrowheads from the Taos Pueblo are tiny. So I can use tiny little spalls. Let's see if I can get another one off of this. Yes. Haha. Ooh, this got some rainbowness. It does have some rainbowness. That's a bonus. It's got rainbowness.
Are you saying bonus twice?
No. You didn't know that rainbowness is a bonus? It's a Flintknapping term also. Yep. Can you see? Look at that. I should nap this one to completion, huh? Yeah. If I don't snap it. This was probably not as snapping half-ish as the other piece. That gray stuff. It's probably not snapping half-ish like that gray stuff. But you never know. So I don't know if I'll be able to get another good arrowhead spall off of this. No. I don't think so. Okay, so that's, I can get like 3 or 4 little arrowheads for the Pueblo off of this. And there's some rainbowness in this one. Yeah, right there. All right, so we'll save these. And we'll put this here. We might nap that to completion because it has a rainbow effect. That might be interesting. Esopus, that's already partially napped. This one's partially napped already. This one here, I need to see if this is actually going to be any good because it's got a crack in it. So let's see how far we can get. This is the Arkansas stuff. Big fork. You can make little knives out of big forks. Yeah. Little blades out of big fork. That's how I think I'll remember the name that way. Arkansas stone. There's no vaculite in Arkansas too, so you don't have to settle for this stuff. All right, let's see. It's not too bad actually, but we'll see. Did it clear it off? What did it do? Oh, it just took off some good material. It didn't clear off so much of that bad stuff, if anything. The crack is still right there. See, it's still going across there. So let's see, where can I strike it to get rid of some of that? See, this flake, I shot directly toward that area, but it took a turn this way. Right? Yeah, I shot it that direction, but it turned a little bit. You never know where it's going to go. They will do whatever they want, these flakes. What that? Yes? Did it do it? Oh, I think it might be doing it. No, come on. Still got a little bit of a crack, but I think we might be able to get under it. Yes? I don't know. I think we might be able to do something with this. Hold on. If I can get through the cracky material. Still got issues. Still got issues in this area. But they don't go through all the way, I don't think. Because this one napped okay. It's got problems, but at least we got some flakes to go across there. I don't know. No. Yeah, that went all the way through. That crack, see the patina? That went all the way through, up to about that point right there. So nothing we could do about that. Might be able to still get a piece out of this. I think the rest of this is okay. So we'll just consider that good enough for now. Let's move on to another piece and see if we can make some progress on some of this other stuff. Let's see here. Oh, that's nice. It naps like it's a hornstone. Yeah, hornstone is one of nature's heat treats. Yeah, look at that. Just barely tapped it, and I get these nice flakes. This might meet all the requirements of notching, thinning, and sharpening. It might meet those as being good for each one. We shall see. Chunky pieces. Oh, I can smell the petroleum smell. Yep. I forget that this is petroleumized. Yep. It doesn't mean it has petroleum in it. It just has that smell. I need to look it up, see what that means. Why does some rock smell like petroleum when you start chipping on them? I need to know. Someone told me one time and I forget. Where's Dockenstein? Ready? Big hit. Nice. But it had a defect. See that patina in there? That means there was a crack going this way that I didn't even see. See how weird that is? There, I got rid of it. Okay. Let's get rid of the rest of that nastiness. It's got too much cortex on it. Yeah, okay. We'll just zigzag it. Yes, we'll try. Uh-oh. If I hit too hard, it's not good. Oh, it's got a little crystal pocket. Isn't that cute? Alright. Gotta go to town on this. Try to get that. This is concrete-y. Okay, this lighter material, it might look like it's napping okay, but it's like concrete. And look, I bent the copper. Now I gotta straighten it. Yeah, it gets all bent out of shape. I don't know what's up with the copper. Yeah, no, that's pretty typical. No big deal. When I'm doing some heavy percussion work, the copper will bend. No big deal. Unless I do it a lot, then the copper starts to harden up. And then it becomes inconsistent, and then weird things happen with the flaking, and I don't know if it's because the copper is hardened up, or because the stone is nasty, or because I'm having a bad day, or all three, or a combination of some sort. The more variables I can eliminate, the better. Yeah, there it is. Perfect. Ran that ridge really nicely. That's what I like to see. So yeah, Esopus. I do like knapping Esopus. If it's not concretey. Yeah. Ah, that's fantastic. Yeah. And it's from New York. It's amazing that there's some fantastic stuff there. I just wish I could get really big pieces, because I can offer big pieces in the auction. Yeah. I'd like to offer one big piece in each auction. Yeah, maybe two. But yeah, one, I can handle doing one a week without getting on my nerves. Oh, yeah, that's good. All right, so we got that. So the other Esopus is going to be good. We'll just kind of put that to the side. That's Esopus. Yeah. We're going to nap some of this Diablo Dacite. I don't know about this. Yeah, we'll just do this piece. We'll put this on the side. Put that to the side. Put this to the side. We're gonna try napping some of this other stuff here in a minute. And then we'll choose one to finish out. I only have 30 minutes. I gotta choose one soon then. This is from New Mexico, this stuff here. New Mexico rock. And it's free. And it is by a public roadside, at least in one spot. You can pick up hundreds of pounds of this stuff. If you go to the Taos Knapping, or you communicate with someone else besides me from the Taos Knapping group, they can tell you where to get this. It's a rare opportunity to get stuff that can be napped. It's not that great. That's why it's still there. I did not go on the trip to get this stuff, so I don't know where it is. And I do that on purpose too. I don't want to know where it is. No. No, because I might spill the beans. And it might ruin it for somebody. Did you tell them where it was before I had a chance to go out there and load up my truck? Oops. Yeah. Why'd you do that? That's what they're thinking. I don't know. I guess I was trying to do someone a favor, and it ended up not being you. Yeah. Sorry. My bad. That was bad. That's happened to me before, where I spilled the beans. Yeah. When you're new, you don't know. All right, well, let's see here. Yeah, it's hard to get long flakes on this, so if you have trouble getting long flakes on this, you're not alone. Yeah. So, I've napped some of this already in New Mexico. But this is not easy stuff. It chips easy, but it's not easy to thin down. This number 2, the thinning is the hard part. It'll notch and it'll sharpen, but the thinning is the hard part. So that's why it's nasty. Did I say it was nasty? Well, I called it Diablo Dacite, yeah. So that implies its nastiness. How big is it? It's tiny. Yeah, some people don't want to mess with it unless they can make 8-inch blades or bigger. So you might be able to make 8-inch blades, but they might be an inch thick. I don't know how you feel about that. Some people don't care. As long as they get 8 to 10-inch blades, they don't care how thick it is in some cases. They just want to make display items. That's it. Which is perfectly okay. But some people want to know where the good rock is so they can learn how to make fancy schmancy stuff. Yeah. See how it doesn't nap quite right. It naps, but conchoidal doesn't explain this kind of napping flake scar pattern. There's no conchoidal wisdom in this particular material. Seashell does the same thing. When you want to nap seashell, it can be napped, but this is what happens. It's kind of the same deal with shell. Because shell, you can nap it, right? Technically, it's better than zero. But it does that. And those are not really the same type of step fractures as the typical step fracture. Okay? They may look like the typical step fracturing, like this one here. That's a typical step fracture. These are not typical. It's like shattery type of flaking. I don't know how to explain it. Where's Dockenstein? Is he in the chat? We were all napping this at one time in Taos. And yeah, it can be used for making stuff. And the guys were doing a good job in some cases. Yeah. Marty's here. Yep. He's gonna nap some obsidian. What stone does Bigfoot use? Bigfoot don't need no stones. He don't need no stinking stones. Yeah. You know why? He just walk up to you and take what you got. What do you got? I got food and got my car and got water, camping gear, my girlfriend. Yeah, I'll take it all. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, but you don't even got a stone blade. Yeah, don't need no stinking stone blades. Bigfoot don't need no stinking weapons. Yeah. Why? Tell us why he doesn't need it. You didn't finish the story. I'll just leave it up to your imagination. How's that? I'll just leave it up to your imagination what happens. But wait, are you saying Bigfoot's real? Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Can't we just imagine for a little while what's going to happen? What could happen? It was a hypothetical anyway, so I'm just posing another hypothetical on top of the original hypothetical. Yeah. Hypothetically, what would Bigfoot use? Yeah. So Bigfoot uses tree stands, right? He'll sit up in a tree stand and deer comes. What happens when the deer comes by? When Bigfoot's up in the deer stand? Dive, and just grabs the deer around the neck, snap. The deer runs around for a minute, and he gets a little ride on the deer like a bull rider, and plop. That's it. Don't need no stinking spear or arrow or anything. Just jumps on the deer and snaps its neck. Yeah. Nose dive from a tree stand. How do I know? Because it's a hypothetical. Anything's possible with hypotheticals. You didn't know that? Now you know. It does have the normal step fracturing sometimes. See that? Let me see if I can pick that out. Right, that's kind of a normal looking step fracture. Or maybe not. Yeah, that is. if I can pick it out a little bit, it's just a normal step fracture. Yeah. See, the flakes get too thin. I'm asking for it to go a little bit too far. But look, it's gotten kind of thin. It might not be bad. So we'll put that aside. We know that Diablo Dacite is not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. We'll see. I have napped it before, so I have an advantage here. Your results may vary. Okay, that's what I'm implying. Your results may vary. All right, let's see. What do we got? We got 30 minutes to finish up this live stream. Unless I want to go an extra hour. Have I napped Norman Skill? I don't know if I want to nap this. I don't want to nap any of this stuff. Yeah. This is going to be kind of a hassle. After that Esopus, yeah, that Esopus spoiled me. Onondaga, I've napped that before. It's okay. Yeah, it's a little bit better than mid-grade. This is rainbow. No, this is not the rainbow one. Does it have rainbowness? I didn't even check. I don't think so. It doesn't have fire in it because that's just from the sign. Some of the obsidians have little fiery reflections, or they interact with the light in that way. It produces like a reddish, fiery glow, but that's not this type of obsidian. All right, I don't think. I think that's from the sign. Anyways. We're going to go to the next stage. We're going to pick one of these. Oh, I already know which one. I'm going to nap this rainbow one. So everything else goes into like a side area of that bin basket. Yeah. All right. So here we go. We're going to nap the rainbow. Yep. See what we can capture. Because it's going to be relatively simple to nap the obsidian. Yeah. I don't have to wear myself out. It's only Thursday. Okay, where are we at? Oh yeah, where are we at? Gotta check the chat. Yeah. I don't need this. Well, I might later, but let's see. Mike says, you don't have to stay up, Pat, but I do get to sleep an extra 3 hours tonight. The Onondaga is out in Pennsylvania. I gotta go. You gotta go get some, or you gotta leave the live stream. In California, the Bigfoot are vegan and non-binary. Don't be a bigot. Hypothetically, right? They're non-binary. Yeah, truck stop videos. You should know better than that than to watch the truck stop videos. What is this? Roger Thacker. I don't know what Bigfoot uses, but I'd like to see what some of these tools can do. Yeah, I've got lots more videos if you want to check out my other videos. I use different types of tools: aluminum, steel, natural tools, antlers, of stones and bones. I've tried various different kinds of materials in my videos. So if that's what you're looking for, just do a search. Jack Crafty and whatever you're looking for. Let's see. Roger Tucker. Let's see some of this stuff in action. Just imagine it. Aaron Wilson says, does that nap like fine-grained basalt? No, fine-grained basalt flakes better. Yeah. This Diablo Dacite doesn't nap as well as fine-grained basalt. This is worse. Yeah. It's like one. It's down a notch. Let's say if this is like a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, the fine grained basalt can go as high as a 6, or maybe even a 7. I've nabbed some really nice fine grained basalt, so it's in the 6 or 7 range. This is like a 5 or 4. This also varies, but it doesn't. I don't think it gets any better than 5 for this. This is actual real dacite. Okay, and I call it Diablo dacite so I can remember that it is dacite. It's from northern New Mexico or northwestern New Mexico, and you can get hundreds of pounds of it for free. Believe it or not. Are you a better napper now that you know that it naps similar to fine grained basalt? No? Dang, you'll never get that time back. Let's see. How much does 20-pound box of Georgetown cost, Royal Crafting? It varies depending on how it's prepared and if it's heat treated or not, right? 20-pound, the cheapest, you're probably asking the cheapest. Cheapest 20-pound box of Georgetown was like $85 that I've seen. And it's still in nodule form, so without being tested, so you don't know what it's like on the inside. I think that's the cheapest that I've seen it. The most expensive I've seen it was like $185 for 20-pound box, 20-pound box, maybe. Heat treated and fully bifaced and tested. Yeah, it's a big range, okay? All right. People ask that question and I think it's easy to answer. It seems easy to answer, but it's not. I wish, it'd be nice if we could tell you a straight answer every single time. But again, you can't judge a rock by its cover or name or title. So even if it's called Georgetown, we cannot pinpoint how much it's going to cost just by the name of it. Overlord helped. Do you have any advice for new nappers? You know what? I need to write that down so that I can answer that same way every time. All right. If you hold on a second, I will come up with a short answer that will be concise and to the point and hopefully helpful. Let's see. Advice for new nappers. This is going to be like a 3-part series. 1, 2, 3. First advice. Go to a Knapping. Watch videos and do the napping with anything you can get. Okay? That's the first bit of advice. If you need to check one of those or more than one. I suggest all 3. Okay? Number 2. Get personal instruction if you can. Okay? If you can't, don't worry about it. You refer to number 1. If no, refer to number 1. Okay? Number 3. Knap, glass, porcelain, and let's see, what else is good? Glass, porcelain, and what else is there? There's got to be one more man-made material that's good for beginners. Well, I guess toilet tank, but the toilet tank is under porcelain. Okay, glass, and so is floor tile. one more. It's got to be another one. And I'm not even kidding. I can't remember. Anyway, how about this? And let me see. Tile goes under porcelain. This is a good question. I need to make sure I answer it right. Anyway, glass and porcelain for sure, okay? And some guys say, and whatever stone is available. But I don't recommend whatever stone is available. That's a last resort. Some guys do well on whatever stone is available because they happen to be next to some good stone. They don't know it, but they're next to good stone, and they do get benefit from it. Some guys, the stone that's available is absolutely terrible to start knapping on. And you're not going to get much benefit. You're just going to get lots of misery. So that's why I recommend glass is number 1 priority. 2 is porcelain. And last resort, whatever stone is available. Okay, that's number 3. That's my advice for new guys. Okay? Now, when I say do the knapping with anything you can get, this applies to tools. So you can buy tools online, you can make your own tools, you can use screwdrivers and pliers and hammers and whatever you can get. This applies to tools. You don't have to be fancy with the tools. And the old saying is, you're only as good as your tools, is still true. But when you're beginning, the important thing is to just do the knapping. Start breaking up rocks. Okay? And maybe number 4. Do not listen to internet culture. Okay? What is internet culture? Well, some of the stuff on internet culture includes the poop glue culture. If these guys are making poop glue, I don't know, I wouldn't trust them. Okay? You'll find out what that is later. But these are my 4 points of advice. Okay? Hope that helps. And of course, watch my videos. There you go. Watch Jack Crafty. Of course. Yeah. Okay? All right. What else? So now I gotta thank you for reminding me that was one of the questions I get a lot. Books do not help. Chronic Doom Scroller. I hate to say this. I don't want to say you're wrong, but you're wrong. Books cause confusion. Okay, warning. Okay, my warning is books cause confusion. See number 1 for alternative to books. What's the alternative on books? See number 1. Go to Knappings, watch videos, and do the knapping with anything you can get. Okay? There we go. I'm not saying you're wrong. Some people benefit from books. But since so many people are off the mark when it comes to Flintknapping because of internet culture, you know what happens. Okay. Aaron asks me, question for you, Patrick. Can you describe the amounts, times, and situations that you use more or less inward pressure while using the behind the knee technique. Yeah, it's pretty simple, actually. That one is kind of simple. I'm glad that one's kind of simple. I can answer in one sentence. Tougher stone requires more pressure assist. That's the only time I use more pressure assist. Tougher stone. Actually, there's two instances. Advanced, long, narrow, flaking uses pressure assist in combination with follow through. And this is on good material. There is that caveat, because it doesn't work on bad material. All right? Pressure assist. I'm sorry if this takes a long time for me to write that down, okay? There's two instances. Tougher stone requires more pressure assist. And number two, advanced long narrow flaking uses pressure assist in combination with follow through on good material. That works on Clovis, flutes, etc. when it comes to fluting. And then various other, how do I say it? It's not diagonal, it's oblique. Various other oblique techniques. Okay? But this is advanced. Okay, remember, this is for advanced. This is, in general, this is all advanced stuff in here. Okay? I don't always use pressure assist on Clovis flutes, though. I did not use any pressure assist on this one, because it was knapping okay. Just with normal indirect percussion. Would I have made a better flute there with pressure assist? Probably not. It might have scooped it more in the beginning. You can't defeat the physics on tough stone. If it doesn't produce long flakes, it's not going to produce long flakes. You know, you can try a bunch of stuff and you'll see after a while you get the feel for it. But in general, yeah, if it's tough stone, forget the fancy stuff. Okay, this works on good material. That's the general rule. I hope that helps. I was wondering if you ever seen or heard of wrist injury from pressure flaking. Yes, there is wrist injuries, there is shoulder injuries, there's elbow, the carpal tunnel syndrome type of injury with elbows too. Various arm injuries, including finger and knuckle displacement. So there's finger injuries, wrist and elbow and shoulder injuries from pressure flaking. Yes. Let's see. What size copper rod do you use? I'm going to order some this weekend. The size 3/8. I have two sizes. 3/8 and 5/16. 5/16, 3/8. 5/16 is twice as expensive as the 3/8. So if you're short on money, buy all 3/8 and then you grind down or put it on a lathe or something to get it down to 5/16 on one end or on both ends. You can take it down on a lathe, or you can just grind the tip in a way that narrows it first down to 5/16, and then you round it off or put it. So I have two different types of points. You got oval and sharper. These are mostly rounded because I'm hitting these really hard. These are for more persnickety type of knapping or smaller points. Okay. Let's see, what else? Hey, y'all, says Squishy. Bambi closure. Mike Mason, what do you get when you cross woodpecker lips with a gorilla? Elefino. Dang it. You got me on that one. And the Fed says, I recently either pulled or tore a tendon in my wrist on the pinky side. Dang it. I just saw a video too on injuries, sports type injuries. You got to make sure you have enough magnesium intake. Make sure you're not deficient on magnesium because of the healing process. Your body's going to demand a lot of magnesium. So we're all short of magnesium in this day and age. 21st century, nobody has enough magnesium. So get magnesium and make sure you get plenty of rest. Yeah. So you can heal up faster. And yeah, and don't eat Twinkies and don't eat Twinkies and Diet Coke. Yeah. Eat healthy. Let's see if there's any more questions in here. Let's see. Aaron says, thank you, Patrick. I watched the old video you made after the live stream yesterday, and you were putting a lot of inward pressure on the material, but the material was choice. Oh, I see. In the Fed, if you get a chance, please check the above question. I can't nap anymore due to my wrist. Yeah. And you might need to put your hand in a splint when you're sleeping. I had to do that, but not because of napping injuries, but when I was doing carpentry work, house framing, I ruined both wrists, basically. I had to sleep with braces on my wrist. I tend to sleep with my wrist like this, and it was making the condition worse. So you may need to sleep with a brace on your wrist, or you should go see a doctor too. Let's see. Where or who taught you this trades? Asked Rhonda. I am self-taught, but I did watch a lot of videos. You'll notice that my style is unique. When you see me at a nap-in, unless I'm surrounded by my buddies, I'm usually the only one using my technique. I'm self-taught. Where end the Fed? Let's see. Yeah, let's look at see if there's a. Okay, I think I answered the injury question from end the Fed. Yeah, hope I answered that question. Chronic Doom Scroller says, I'm using a smooth and handheld rock for hammerstone and a piece of concrete edge for a grater. I'm currently finding a nail for pressure flaking. That sounds like it'll work, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I'm checking it. I'm going kind of slow because I don't want to miss Thank you for answering my question, brother. Sorry for having to ask a few times. No, it's okay. Let's see. Aaron says he pounded nails for 27 years. Bad elbows, knees, hips, shoulders, and back. Wrists are gone. Yeah. I ruined my wrists by using the skill saw for too many hours. The circular saw? Yeah. I needed to have taken breaks, but no, I just kept using it and using it and using it at different angles and stuff, and I ended up getting a lot of swelling in my wrists and carpal tunnel syndrome, and then it just got worse, and I had to wear braces on my wrists and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I think that's it. Yep, let me start again on the obsidian. All right, let's see what. Yeah, we'll just go for a little bit longer. It's already almost time to quit the live stream if we go by our regularly scheduled programming. But I want to see if I can capture that rainbow effect. And see how well it looks, or how good it looks when I'm thinning it. After I'm thinning it. After I have thinned it. Right? Right. And if you're just joining us, look, rainbow. Purple, green, kind of, I don't know, goldish, more purple, kind of goldish, kind of blue. Yeah. Got it? Got it. It's not a true rainbow. Someone's going to say, wait a second, it's not gradient from ultraviolet to infrared. It's not a rainbow. Okay, fine. It's just what nappers call it, okay? Jeez. Oh, there it goes. I did it. I used the technology. Yep. Look at all the technology. Look at it. So beautiful. What technology? Are you being sarcastic again? Everybody knows that overshots are awesome. Dude, bro, come on. Yep. Anyone that says that, you got to ask them also, are you part of the poop glue culture? Are you? Because that's what there seems to be some common ground there. Between the overshot technology dudes and the poop glue dudes. Rainbow Effect Fund from Aaron Estes. $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Awesome, thanks. More rainbow. Yeah. Gotta have more rainbow. I think that's gonna work out. This bubbly stuff on this side might be interesting to see what's gonna happen. Come on. Yes. That one behaved. Yeah, that's why I say yes. If it behaves, it's so refreshing. Yes, it is. We're playing the odds, if you don't know. In Flintknapping, it's a game of chance. Yeah. Yeah, it's a gamble. Every strike is a gamble. You can get better at gambling, and you can get better at Flintknapping. Same concept. I bet you the same areas of the brain line up too, or light up when gambling and when Flintknapping. I bet you. Yeah, every new workpiece is a new deck of cards with new hands being dealt. Every stone is a new deck of cards with new hands being dealt. Now, some stones are very similar to each other, so to be fair, you know, you can sometimes predict what's going to happen. They are similar. But sometimes it's like, what the heck's going on in the wide world of Flintknapping? You never know. Flintknapping is a wide world. Oh, yes. All right, I'm thinning this down, so I usually zone out when I'm doing the hardest part of Flintknapping. Man, that grinds down easy. Look at that. With the bubbles in it, it's grinding down easy. That's unusual. And I'm judging the convexity and the roundness, so to speak, very quickly. I'm used to judging the surface convexity or the surface roundness. So I'm not just casually glancing. It's taking a lot of practice to quickly assess what surfaces are the best for a flake. And I'm opportunistic, so I'll just look for the first good opportunity and then strike. I won't think too much about strategy other than thinning the ends first and then thinning the middle. That's the overall strategy. And the overall shape. There's two things. Thin the ends and make sure you got a good overall shape, or one that you can live with. It doesn't have to be good. And go from there. I judge these surface contours very quickly. Yikes. Except for right there. I didn't judge something well enough and I crushed it. See, incomplete. See, mistake. Does not, Pasco does not collect $200. No. Okay, much better. Dang. Sticky flake. Look at that. It's got some shininess to that bubble area. See that? And I still have some rainbow captured in there. Yes, I saw it. But it's fading. See, I still got some, but it's starting to fade. You got to catch it at the correct angle, and it's almost impossible to predict. But there is some in there, yeah. And coincidentally, it coincides with these bubbles. And I was watching another video where a rock guy that knows about this kind of stuff was saying that sometimes it's mineral inclusions that cause the coloration, and sometimes it is bubbles. And sometimes it's, I guess, the alignment of the crystal structure or lack thereof. I don't know. But yeah, I can never remember exactly why these obsidians do that. Even though I try to watch videos on it, I don't retain the information. Yeah. It's one of those ADHD questions that I get correct every time. You find it hard to retain information if you're not really interested in it? Yes, bingo. Bingo. I'm not really into knowing the properties other than, does it nap or not? It would kind of be helpful to know the angle at which those colors can be seen best. But I would have to probably cut or saw a bunch of obsidian to figure that out. And it's been figured out before, so yeah, we can. Some of the professionals out there, they know what angle you need to cut these things at, because that's their livelihood. They got to know what angle to cut it at. Dang. It's kind of crunchy. Yeah. Does not do anybody any good to crunch it. Do not crunch it. Yeah, see, it's kind of weird there anyway. And that step right there too, on this side. So, it's just this whole area seems to be nasty. This one was okay. This one behaved, but this one, I don't know. And I only have a few chances to run flakes across because it's really getting thin. Dang it. Yeah, the thinner it gets, the less opportunities you have. It grinds down really easily. I'm amazed. Let's see. I should try to clean off that metal, or find something that doesn't have as much dust on it. Yeah. Switch. That might be part of the problem, where there's too much glass dust in the copper. It doesn't produce the same kind of flaking. There it is. If there's a lot of glass dust in here, it slips. It gets slippery. I know some guys think that the dust adds grip, but I've never experienced that. It's always been more slippery with dust and with particulate matter embedded in the copper. Yeah. To me, the response is always more slipperiness. I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Come on. No. Yes, that's good. Yeah, like that. Okay. So we've got some translucency. I'm almost done with this particular. Where is the other side? I got mostly smooth surfaces. Yeah, there's still something on this side though. Let's see. Made it worse. What is it with these sides? It's this material right through here, this bubbly stuff. It rears its ugly head once you start getting thin, it looks like. Yeah. Okay. You can't let off the gas. Oh, it just made it worse. Still, there's still step fracturing. So I'm going to stop right there and call it a night. But we still have issues. We have this issue right there. That's a step fracture. I need to get rid of that. There's an issue right here. These just look nasty on a finished piece, so we got to get rid of them. And then the edge, all these edges on this bubbly area, they're going to be difficult to sharpen, I can tell already, because they crush and they're not very, how should I say, conducive to sharpening. So this bubbly area is kind of nasty, but the rest of it is okay. And it has nice coloration with the rainbow effect a little bit, if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. It's starting to fade, like I said, but it still looks okay. Interesting effect. Yeah. All that's left now, I got it as thin as I need to, except there's maybe this one spot right here. It's kind of thick. Yeah, very thick right there. Very thick right here. This side is lopsided. I gotta straighten this edge. See, I gotta straighten this whole edge. What about the other side? This one's a little bit straighter. Yeah, but I gotta remove material off the bottom here. Yes, or maybe off this side. Yeah, I gotta make it straighter so it looks like I gotta remove a little bit off of that. And a little bit off the other side too, to get it nice and tapered. But you've seen me do that plenty of times on video, so I can call it a night. I was just curious to see how well I could capture that rainbow effect. We'll continue this. What is it? Tomorrow's Friday? Tomorrow is supposed to be bifacing day, but I think I'm going to continue with our original box. Or blue basket. Yeah. We're going to continue with what we started tomorrow night. Right? We started a bunch of these. They're all gray. Look at that. Or they're kind of grayish. We can spice it up a little bit by doing some jasper. Heat treated Georgia jasper. I don't know. I was going to try knapping this too. This one looks not too bad. So we'll just finish this or continue this tomorrow night. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to check the chat and then say good night. I probably will finish this tomorrow night. Yeah. We'll start off with that, I think, and then go into the other ones. Okay. Let me empty out my boot first. I think I got flakes down in there. All right. Okay. I can't be walking around the house with flakes inside my boot, because then I try to shake it out and I leave glass on the floor. No matter how I try to get the glass in the wastebasket, there's always glass on the floor when I forget to do this. And I have to do it inside. And yeah, I can go out on the front porch, but then there's glass on the front porch. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, we have a bunch of skunks out front to eat the cat food. There was 5 of them tonight. If you want to see pictures of the skunks, let me know. Why skunks? Because we got bunches in this town. Yeah, bunches of skunks. And there was a fox that came by. He didn't stick around, or he or she didn't stick around very long. Yeah, the skunks were in too close proximity to the cat food. And I threw out some chicken bones also. Not all the skunks go after the chicken bones, but there was enough there to scare off the fox. He did grab a piece, one chicken bone, and took off. Why am I telling you this? Because I'm cleaning out my boots. I gotta talk about something. All right. There, I feel better now. Oops. Let's see. I wear a lot of glass on my forearms. Yeah, that's true. I think I already swept that off. Mostly. I always wash up. Yeah. But yeah, that's very, very true. Especially in hot weather, the flakes will stick to your arms. Carla asks, how do you get into this? I'm new to your channel and this fascinates me. Okay. Let's see. That is question on this other page. What got you into this? I like archery and I like arrowheads. That's what got me into it. Yeah, I make stuff. Like, I'm in the process of making a bunch of these. For example, this is just some of the stuff I like to make. I also make arrows and bows. Anything related to archery or primitive weapons like this. This is just a display though. Display knife. Now you're going to get me to show off some of my stuff. These are for arrows, right? These are arrow foreshafts. I have a little arrow point that I made also. It fits in the arrow foreshafts. Yeah. I make arrows, bows, knives, spears. I gotta include spears, spear tips, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. What else? At the end of this is the end of the live stream. I try to answer questions, so I'm taking a little bit extra time to answer some questions. All right. Stoneface says good night. Everyone's starting to say good night. That's good. I'm going to end the live stream here very soon. Let's see here. So cool, Carla says. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I have an auction every Monday. Hunter says, how do you deal with any pieces of glass that get in your skin? I have to dig them out. Yeah. Yeah, believe it or not. And you can get special tweezers for that too. I got like needle nose tweezers, but usually I just take an X-Acto knife or something sharp and dig it out. And yeah, it hurts. And yeah, there's lots of bleeding sometimes. But when you take a little knife blade and dig in there, you can hear the little click when you hit the glass. Once you hit that little click, you've got to try to get behind it and, or push it out. Keep pushing the blood out. And sometimes it flows out. But if it's not doing it, you got to get the tweezers and find out where that little click is again and try to pull it out. It takes time and a lot of patience in some cases. If you're lucky, it comes out right away. If not, you may have to go to the emergency room. Yeah, Holiday Inn Express is always the answer. Aaron says, last question then. If I get up to my spot and find some good stuff, would you like some petrified wood? Yeah. You just got to make sure and do me a favor, right? Please do this because I have a hard time doing it. Label everything. I mean, every stone, and include a note. Even if it's all petrified wood and it's all the same and everything, even if there's 100 flakes in there, you have to label every single piece if you want me to do precisely your stuff. I have a tendency to get them mixed up with other things because I run out of space very fast. If you can, look, I've got bunches of baskets just for tonight. Look at all those baskets. And sometimes I run out of baskets, right? And just so I can keep these things away from the mess, I'll mix them together. And if they're not all labeled individually, they get mixed up. So I'm telling people most of the time now, I don't take too many materials unless you label everything. Please. Hunter says, I got you. I tried blowing glass at one time and it sucked when it shattered. Yeah. Yep. Done deal, says Aaron. Oh, it's awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, warm water. Yeah, if you flush the area with water, sometimes that works, especially in your eyes. Yeah, if you have anything that gets in your eyes, especially, immediately rinse it out with water. And if it's still in there, keep rinsing. And if you can't get it out, definitely go to the emergency room. You want to get the glass extracted as soon as possible from your eyes, if not from everywhere else. Yeah. Otherwise, your Flintknapping experience is going to become very nasty. Let's see. In the Fed will try to do my best to run in tomorrow night. Yeah, I have a live stream every night starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain, 6:30 Pacific. And it runs for 2 hours unless I go over my time. Like tonight, I'm over by 22 minutes. Sometimes I go longer than that. How much money would it be for you to make one for me? Yeah, that's another question. But yeah, you could. The only time I make stuff for money is for the auction. Yeah. And I don't do side work. I don't do work on the side for people. Yeah. It's very rare. Sometimes I do, okay? But it's very rare. I limit myself a lot now. I don't do side work. And I've got back orders that I'm still trying to fill from a few months ago. I got all my last year's work done. Well, except for a couple things. Everything that I've got now back ordered is from this year. Okay. Let's see here. Is that it? Let's see. Yeah. Turning a hobby into a job seems like less fun. Yeah, actually, I've turned my hobby into a job now, but if I start doing side work, I get overwhelmed. I just don't have time. I seriously don't have time. And if I try to make time and put my nose to the grindstone and just force it out, get it done, make it happen, I start breaking everything. So it actually makes it worse. That's why I don't do side work. Aaron says, thank you for the video, Pat. It's the least I can do. Your indirect techniques saved my Flintknapping career. Pressure hurts too bad. Awesome. Let's see. Where can I buy some tools I want to learn? You can buy some tools from Danny Collins. Flintknappingtraditions.com. Why do I mention Danny Collins? Because he supports this channel quite a bit. Sends me free stuff. He provided the intro music for this video. And basically, he's a cool guy. And he knows his stuff. So, yeah. Go to flintknappingtraditions.com for tools. There are other outfits that are just as good. Yes. But they don't send me free stuff. Anything else? Alrighty. Let's see. That's it. All right, everybody. I'm going to say good night. Take care. See you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.